Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at basically ranking kind of like the top tier of units in DB Legends right now and talk a little bit about what makes them each so broken. So I'm going to talk about the top 20-ish units or so, and we'll start at the top and then kind of move down. You'll see a lot of ultras, you'll see some Legends Limiteds, but basically I want to talk kind of around almost all these units. So let's start off with probably the easiest bit, which is realistically the top 3. So if you look for kind of like your top 3 units right now, Goku, Frieza and Vegeta I would say are definitely probably the top 3. It definitely feels like Goku, Vegeta and then Frieza for me. Also could be something like this, maybe, depends on your GT team, which I think is probably the strongest team at this point in time. Goku is still really good even with Vegeta existing. His team, a team revive is something that is very broken. Very broken, very good, very easy to use. You know, he can do some good damage, he's got good special damage, he's able to counter reds quite well, so he's got a lot going on. If you look at Ultra Vegeta, obviously the combo breaker mechanic, very good. You know, nullification of combo breakers is huge. GT is in a super prime position right now. He can do immense damage, and he's got his jump in combo, which is also really good. So he's got a lot going on that makes him really strong, and honestly probably makes him very good at the top level here. Then we have Frieza, kind of self-explanatory. Goku is excellent, but Frieza is also equally very good. The Death Beam is a obnoxious mechanic that is very powerful and potent, and it can make comboing very easy. So Frieza is pretty good. Honestly, just depends on how you feel about them or your team around them. That's going to determine how they feel. I do think Goku is probably a bit more versatile, just due to Super Saiyans, Son Family, Saiyans, etc. Whereas Vegeta and Frieza definitely feel very potent on their teams, but I think all 3 are very much very strong right now. So then next, in terms of where we go from, we have a couple of Legends Limiteds. So there's only 1 or 2 other characters that I think sit in the broken kind of category of units right now. So like when you look at, you know, absurdly broken and like just unable to be countered or are very able to dish out big damage, etc. So I think for me, if I look at it, it's probably down to, I think, Goku or Vegeta, depending on how you feel. From the latest kind of festival, I think Cell is pretty good. I think things really kind of taper around here. So in terms of broken, honestly I would probably just around about put, for me at least, I think Goku's pretty good. Probably the only Legends Limited that I feel is broken right now. You know, very strong, very good at comboing down, very big damage. Red is just very strong in the meta right now because the only blue we have is Goku. UI, who is strong, but you know, is one of those things. And then if you look at the rest of the rotations and units, like there's nothing that really distinctly stands out as being absolutely borderline broken for me. Then we get into the kind of meta, so meta picks, meta solid picks, really strong picks. So you've got your units like Vegeta, UI Goku, SSPE Vegeta. I think you've got Ultra Cell in the mix here. Ultra Hit is pretty good here. Maybe he moves like down to here. I think in terms of, you know, your solid units, you've got Vegeta, very good. You can put your Rosés and your kind of like this is really what I'm thinking here. So very, very, very good. All these units are your combo style units. So like if you look, Goku Black is your combo style unit, although I'd probably take him off at least meta because he's not on meta teams right now. Vegeta you see very often because he's a combo style unit. Vegeta is there, MUI Goku is there for sure. Revive Vegeta is definitely there. Very potent, very strong. Again, Pure Saiyans. Ultra Cell, very, very strong. Really nice, especially with this Android 13 and this Goku, who we'll get to. And then you have your Ultra Hit, who's kind of like a once-off trick pony, but it still works really well with this plat right now. You've got Majin Vegeta, who's fallen off a bit, especially with the advent of this Vegeta for sure. But he is still there and thereabouts, and you've got obviously Fused Fighter SS3 Gotenks, who's also again pretty solid. So this is kind of where you're sitting. This is kind of where things are looking like. You'll often see these guys on certain teams or on certain builds being very, very strong, being very useful. Their ability to combo is very critical and helps them to be big sources of damage. Then in terms of meta but with skill, and the reason I say this is because they're still meta but they can just be a bit tricky to use. So you know you've got some pretty potent units here. This is kind of where I put my like SS3 Gokus, my Android 13s, definitely. I think they're very good. They work specifically on certain teams. They are solid enough. They work very well. Same with like your Keflas, for sure. She's there. She's in and around that field. I think your SS3 Gokus kind of fit here. Your Legends Limiteds, your Legends Limited Goku Zenkai works here. I think he's decent, probably is where I'd put him. And then if we look at your, I think that's really probably about it. In terms of your decent, in terms of ultras, I think a lot of them kind of start to fall off. Yeah, I think your 17, your Android 17 is pretty good. So in terms of this, it kind of comes down to their team and their priorities. So like the biggest problem with Kefla is she's just not priority on the USS team or Reps team or Universe Reps team. Goku is on GT, very good, very great in combo with a lot of other GT units. Android 13, great in combo with other Android units. Goku is kind of like a pseudo replacement for Vegito or for Kaioken Goku. He's like kind of your combo unit. And then Android 17 is just really good as a support factor for that USS team. Nice Zenkai, nice boosts, nice everything in terms of those units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. So it's probably, I would say, yeah, really good. I think there's units that make really fun teams. So like if you look at like Daima SS3 and SS4 Daima Goku, they're always bound to kind of fall here because the Daima team, especially Goku, very dependent on Daima team being Daima team. So if you have like the full Daima team, you have them all red stars, like you're gonna have a good time. Like your Daima team will perform well, you do a good job, and you'll have a pretty good performance. It's just that if you don't have them, then they're going to fall off a little bit. Team's not going to function at its full power. You're going to have some issues, and that's just always what tends to happen. So you always have to keep your eye out on that and watch out for that. But I think they're still good units. They just have to still be on a very specific team. I think that limitation is quite limiting. If we look at units that kind of fall into this area, I would say either their kit is okay but they're on good teams, or they have a great kit but they're on a limited team. So it's like you exist in a dichotomy of like, oh, I'm a decent unit on a good team, or I'm a great unit that's on a half decent team or a limited team. And I think that's kind of where you kind of feel with them. In terms of like alt units, I think there's some great alt picks right now. So like if you take a look at, for example, Baby, I think Baby's made a bit of a comeback. I think Omega Shenron has also made a little bit of a comeback. I think both of them are looking really solid on some GT teams as viable alt picks. I think, you know, if you look at the rest of the units recently, Zamasu probably not there. Yeah, Zamasu is good, but powerful opponents still need some work, really. I think Ultra Frieza suffers the same fate. I think Turles suffers the same fate. Even if you look at like your plat bearing green Goku, Vegeta tag Legends Limited characters, like they're more on the decent side. They can do good damage. They still have some good functionality. It's kind of the same with the Gamma 1s and Gamma 2s. Like they do good damage, they have some good functionality, but they ultimately are still limited. Your Ultra Goku, kind of similar, you know, decent on your USST, maybe with UI Goku and things like that, but you know, there's not enough going on with him to really make him like function absolutely insane. I think Android 17 kind of joins these three in making like a surprise comeback because of the strength of Vegeta, and I think that's great. I think like God Goku, you know, he falls probably here. He's very similar to this SS3 Goku, where he's like your meta pick, and he's a great pseudo replacement for like a better combo dealer like Vegito, for example, where, you know, Vegito is probably like the end of like the meta line. I think he's a great pseudo replacement. These two are a great pseudo replacement for Vegito if you don't have him. In terms of like 10th any units, I think they fall here under decent. Again, just good replacements. Same with SS2 Gohan. Like all these units you could just file under decent. Like they're good, they're not going to have a huge impact, they're going to be solid, they will perform decently in PvP, not going to blow your mind. So that's just kind of where they are. I think Metal Cooler, probably the biggest disappointment. I think multiple revives is a fun mechanic. I think the way it was implemented with Cooler is not the right way to go about it. You look at units like Gohan and Trunks, I think they're a fun unit, but ultimately they need a bit more work. They're not really in the right space. So Future needs some love, which is what I really hope happens at Legends Festival. So like, I mean, if you look at all these units, like these Legends Limiteds and things like that, I think you'll see that there is a like common trend right now where Ultras, especially recent Ultras, are leaning to the top. Combo units are leaning to the top, even still with Vegeta around. Like it is still, combo breakers are still leaning to the top. It is irritating to have Vegeta cancel your combo. It's UI Goku cancelling your combo. It's, you know, all these units cancelling your combo. They're always going to still be prominent, still powerful. I think, yeah, just ultimately it's a very interesting space right now in Legends. I will say it definitely feels like there's a big gap between like your meta picks and then like your broken picks and then like your meta picks and then like your half meta picks, and then you get like really step downs, and then like even still like very much a step down from there. So I think it's like, I think you could put him probably top of the pile here. I would say like this. So I think, you know, it's so hyper dependent on what your team is, but ultimately like any competitive meta team is going to boil down to, do you have him, do you have him, do you have him, or are you building a team out of like 3 of these guys? Because then your team's also still fine, if you know what I mean. So it's just kind of one of those things. Maybe you can reach down and grab one from here, but then it kind of really falls off. Like even the Daima team, which is a great team with Spark and Ku and Do and all that, you know, it's not going to function. It's not functioning at the level you want it to function at. It's not pulling at the level you want it to pull at if you're just trying to run those Daima units. So this would be where I say it's at before Legends Fest. You know, probably for me at least, what I would say is really where the meta sits. And yeah, but yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on where you think all the units are, what you think they're there for, I think like ultimately for me, the tendency lately is that ultras are really top. And we're seeing that, you know, anytime an ultra gets a new plat, we're seeing them move up. Anytime they get kind of brought back, they're moving up because they're so devastating with their core mechanics. And I think that's probably what I will say is the biggest premise. That's it for me. Bye.